You've survived the money bubble. You've earned that all-important min cash.
You're welcome, guys. You're welcome.
And now is when victories are made.
Yes.
It's a battle of fire and ice between the hot streaks
I have a bad feeling for you.
and the coolers.
He was thinking about folding.
That could be the biggest mistake of my life.
You have no control,
Easy fold, right? Easy fold.
no power
Now you're bluffing me?
over the poker gods.
All in.
No, chill, bro.
It's just me really dirty now. It just has to be really dirty.
We're well into the second half of day 3 of the PokerStars and Monte Carlo Casino EPT Grand Final. 69 remain following a grueling bubble. They're hoping to survive the day and accrue the chips they'll need to propel them to victory. The day started with 114 players, knowing 35 of them would miss out on the money. Schemion's confetti find proved to be lucky
Maybe it's a sign.
as he bullied the competition.
10-8 of diamonds.
I would never 3-bet you with 10-8 of diamonds here.
On the flip side, Vanessa Salps went from hero to zero as a bad call sent her to the rail without a cash.
Sort of in shock, you know?
And it was fellow team pro Jason Mercier who burst the bubble, leading to smiles all around. None bigger than on the face of our online qualifier. Since then, the short stacks have started falling, and we've lost 2 former Grand Final champs, with both Nikolai Schwiti and Steve O'Dwyer cashing for 19K.
Well, I started the day with 60,000, doubled up early on, and then just kind of blinded out of the tournament.
It took a while, but we got there in the end, and we are finally in the money.
Well, the longer we wait for the bubble, the bigger the bust-out bonanza, and we are going to cut through the rest of this field like a pair of adamantium claws through just about anything.
Meanwhile, Schemion continues to crush and build a big stack.
You better believe it, bub.
There's only 2 levels left to play tonight, but this battleground is sure to see more casualties. Looking to do the damage are the EPT elite, who know how a hot streak can work to their advantage.
I'm just ready with my game to go against everybody. I always have a plan if it comes to the situation, so I just see what comes.
I'm not afraid to get involved in big pots if I have to, but I think other people aren't expecting that.
While others worry about the inevitable all-ins and dreaded coolers.
You get shoved out and then you lose half of your stack doing unnecessary stuff. So I'm just trying to stay away from those spots.
I just have to put all my attention on the next hand. If you make one mistake, you're out. I'm ready.
On the tournament floor, the turn of one card could see you heading for the door.
Anything could happen, but hopefully I find a good spot to stick it in, double up once or twice, and then I can play some real poker.
Day 3, the evening session. Let's do this.
Jason Mercier eliminated the bubble boy when his deuces cracked kings, which is almost like a flip for him. Johnny Lawden just seems to be a perma-casher on the EPT. He's out in the field. Andre Akari looking to go deep here. The punt he took during the shark cage final is still flying through the air somewhere. Ike Haxton's got a lot of chips, and his shirt is from the Pee-wee's Playhouse collection.
While our feature table is headlined by Schemion and Maria Ho, Maria is a super short stack, while Ole is tournament chip leader, and Jose Carlos Garcia is also a big stack, with the blinds currently 3,000, 6,000 with a 1,000 ante. And it'll be Maria Ho first to speak. King Queen.
Time for the short to get shipping.
Maria all in for 54,000. Folded around to Schemion, who's got aces.
Oh my God, run better, Ola, seriously.
He calls.
To FAQ.
Everyone else folds. So Maria at risk and way behind.
She's in worse shape than most of Middle America.
I have a bad feeling for you. Sorry.
All right. It's okay. Good spot to lose aces, at least.
Yeah.
I like Maria's attitude, but I'm not sure she really believes it.
After the flop, she is down to just 4% equity.
Boring.
I think there's going to be a 2 on the turn.
But now it's just it's just me really dirty now. It just has to be really dirty.
Okay.
Maria needs running cards. She's drawing dead.
Deader than John Cleese's parrot.
She exits in 69th place.
Good luck, everyone. Nice playing with you guys.
And Schemion is up to 733K.
Look at the way Maria's sneaking out. It's like she's leaving her frat house.
Schemion consolidates his chip lead, now playing a 122 big blind stack. Who else is running hot at the moment? Well, Andre Akari and Ike Haxton are both in the top 5, while Jason Mercier and Mustafa Kanit sit inside the top 10. Kanit won the single-day 50K super high roller here in Monaco just a few days ago. I think it's fair to say he's on a hot streak.
They're calling it the Kanit Ball Run.
John Monturi's also running hot. He's our most recent EPT main event champ. And this guy, Dmitry Urbanovich, is as hot as they come. 4 tournament wins in Malta and runner-up in the 100K event here in Monaco. Well, looks like our qualifier has found a good spot. Not so good for Eugene Kachalov, who is at risk and dominated.
Seabird still seems real stressed.
Ace high flop.
It's pretty good for you.
Take it easy, last man on earth. You're way ahead.
Not the sweat that I wanted, but it's still a sweat.
Eugene needs a 10 on the river. He doesn't hit. Kachalov eliminated by Emmanuel Siebert.
The online qualifier gets in for 11 euros, cashes for 19,000, and then busts one of the game's greats. Pretty cool, dude.
Still reasonably short stacked, though. Well, over at the secondary feature table, it's Adrian Matos against Frederick Pedersen. We join the hand on the turn.
Not a whole lot here for ace-5 to be excited about.
Matos has bet 47,000 with his gut shot.
Yeah, and there's not a whole lot out there to get 2 10s to fold either.
Pedersen calls. 186K in the middle with 1 card to come.
Hope Matos has got a plan for the river.
Seems the plan was get there.
Sweet plan. What's it like? What's it like to make that draw? I bet it feels good.
Matos with the wheel.
All in.
And he shoves. So what do you do here with an overpair?
That. Yeah, you said it, buddy. There's so few value hands here, especially with how early he raised. So tempting to put him on busted hearts.
A hero call would be disastrous.
It wouldn't even be that big of a hero call. Is he gonna get away?
Yes, Frederick finds a fold.
What a fold! That fold was on fleek.
And Adrian Matos, the 2013 World Series of Poker Europe main event champ, chips up to 340K.
That moment you realize you might have just got bluffed.
At Ike Haxton's table, there's 3-way action. It's been checked to Thomas Popov.
As far as I'm concerned, there's only one Popov in my book, and that's Slavin.
Well, this Popov's going to bet 22K. Ike Haxton considering his action. That's a check raise to 50K.
It's a pretty dry board, but if anyone can have a big piece, it's the guy in the big blind.
Hady El Asmar has folded. It's back on Popov.
Oh, I miss Slaven Popov and his Bulgarian Where's Wally hat. Other Popov?
Folds.
You lost, kid, but you don't have to like it.
Ike Haxton adds 44K to his stack. He's now playing 629,000. Well, let's get back to our online qualifier. Emmanuel Siebert is all in. And Zhao Samao is called. It's a race.
If Jacks don't hold, Siebert's heading back to squatting behind a bush and using every part of the animal.
Samao flops a flush draw. Spade on the turn seals Siebert's fate. He's out in 60th place. A 21,000 euro return on an 11 euro investment.
Yeah, good luck, man.
Pretty cool.
So Emmanuel Siebert will pick up his first EPT cash, joining the long line at the payout desk behind Eugene Kachilov.
That's gonna be a weird conversation. Hello, my babies. Want to listen to more of my jokes and embarrassing stories without poker getting in the way? Subscribe to EPT Not Live on iTunes or download it from soundcloud.com/EPT.live. There's guests, competitions, online dating. You can even get some behind-the-scenes gossip on the show you're watching right now. That's right, more layers than an advanced Rubik's Cube, which has 2 layers. More layers than that. EPT Not Live.
Now, Joseph, the #1 rule of boat safety is always wear a life jacket.
We're still in the harbor.
Yeah, right. In which case, you should probably also wear this.
Ow.
All-ins are the name of the game here at the PokerStars and Monte Carlo Casino EPT Grand Final. With a double-up or die mentality, we've already lost fan favorites Maria Ho and Eugene Kachilov. And Emmanuel Siebert, our online qualifier, saw his flame extinguished.
Yeah, good luck, man.
Hope that money's not too heavy. It is a long hike home.
Blinds are still 3,000, 6,000 with a 1,000 ante. Action at the feature table has been folded to Nikolai Tsanev, who's got queens.
Lady Kings.
And he will raise from under the gun +1 to 13,000. Round to Jose Carlos Garcia, who's got aces. Gross cooler alert.
I know you're supposed to 3-bet this, but I wouldn't really want to upset this guy.
It is a 3-bet. A re-raise to 34,000. And it's come back around to Tsanev.
He looks like the kind of guy who'd yell at you for looking at his girlfriend, but you really can't say anything because you totally were. Also, he probably thinks this little punk wizard kid is just messing around with him. He's gonna be pretty happy to put more chips in the middle, till he sees what the cards are.
It's a 4-bet to 88K. No 5-bet from Garcia, just a call. Oh, now it's going in.
Tsanev is gonna love this flop, and he's not gonna think for a second that he could possibly be beat.
He continues for 62,000.
I think he's proven himself to have a big one now. Here comes a raise.
Yeah, pretty much a min raise, 126.
Now, is this an act, or does he actually think he could be beat here?
I'm on him.
He shoves.
It was an act.
And he gets called.
Whoops.
Nikolai Tsanev needs a queen on the turn or river to survive. Doesn't hit on the turn.
Oh, he seems so much sweeter now.
And he misses on the river. Hard luck, Nikolai. Nothing you could do.
Okay. Sometimes when you run hot, you still run cold.
Okay.
Good luck.
Tsanev out in 58th place, cashing for nearly 21k.
And for the record, I am sorry I looked at your girlfriend.
Jose Carlos Garcia, up to 750,000. And he's closing in on Schemion. Everyone seems to have held their positions on the leaderboard, with Ike Haxton dropping down a little bit. That said, he's still playing a very healthy 98 big blind stack. And Ike has gone to the river here against Thomas Popov.
Last time Ike bullied Popov like he was collecting Popov's lunch money.
Ike's gonna bet on this double paired board. 78k.
Good hand before the flop. And on the flop, it was like maybe okay. What are you trying to get called by? 78?
7s or 8s? Sure, okay.
Like a no respect, like deuce 3 hand? Oh, it might be. So little respect.
The bully does not respect the giver of lunch money.
Such an unreasonable bet.
If it was 77k, it would be reasonable.
You're pretty sick to raise after all this.
That would be so sick. I would have to have quads.
I guess he doesn't have quads.
Popov folds.
Got him again.
You have it?
One is fair. One is fair.
Going closer to the deal.
Ike shows an 8.
Oh, that's such a bad card to see. That's like the worst card. I think he raises 8s. I think he probably has 8s.
8-6 is totally possible. You tell yourself whatever you have to sleep tonight.
Ike now playing 614k, a very comfortable stack for one of the mainstays of the European Poker Tour.
The first EPT I ever played was Barcelona in 2008, I believe it was. I had just graduated university and become really fully a full-time professional poker player. And after the World Series, I decided to take my first trip to Europe to play some tournaments. I played the EPTs in Barcelona and in London, and they were a lot of fun. On that first trip to Europe, I played what was then the highest buy-in tournament I'd ever played, the 20k high roller in London, and made a final table with John Juanda, Jason Mercier, Scotty Wynn was there. I'd played with a lot of big-name poker players before, but I hadn't played in a field like that was almost exclusively big-name poker players. All right, good luck, guys. I've never been to Monaco apart from coming here to play the Grand Finals the last 3 years. I can't say I've seen that much of it. I come here, I stay in the hotel, I play the tournaments, I leave. This would definitely be a fun one to final table. It's a huge prize pool. It's a tournament that one of my best friends, Steve O'Dwyer, won a couple years back. So it would be fun to sort of keep this title in the family a little bit. I'd love to make a run in this one for sure.
You know, I don't want to say Monaco's expensive, but they have a store here called 10,000 Poundland.
Bust out alert.
You can. Let's play with you.
Ike's tablemate Thomas Popov has been KO'd by Connor Drynan.
This Popov also doesn't get a treat.
Over to the secondary featured table. Johnny Lodden recently joined the lineup here, and he is flipping against Frederick Pedersen.
Johnny tends to run pretty good, and in this situation, he's slightly ahead, so I don't like where this is going for Pedersen.
Frederick is the at-risk player. The flop brings an ace and a 10. Pedersen needs a king on the river. He's out.
Okay. Time to send Frederick Pedersen home. Let's put him in the Pederfire. You know what? That's a bad name for that. We got to change that.
So Johnny Lodden chips up. And Frederick collects 23K for his 49th place finish.
That was well played, huh? I was giving myself an applause the way I played that one.
Oh, Johnny, those clapping lessons are paying off. You're almost there.
Back to Ike Haxton, who's been 3-bet by Hady El Asmar, a qualifier from Lebanon. Ike 4-bets.
Man, Ike has had zero chill at this table.
El Asmar is all in, and Ike calls. Kings against Ace-Jack. El Asmar at risk, and Ike will take the chip lead here if Kings hold.
Ace-Jack, really?
Looking really good for Ike. El Asmar needs an ace. He hits it on the turn.
Nice one, nurse.
And with no king on the river, El Asmar doubles up.
Suck out to your El Asmar. Ike's still doing fine now.
Playing 515,000. And an above average stack now for this amateur player, who you might be interested to know is married to a former Miss Lebanon.
What's this now? Because I think we have an opening in the online qualifier department.
Back on the main stage. Action folded to Ludo. He passes. Felix Stevenson with ace-10.
James, isn't this the guy whose teeth you blacked out on the photo of him in the office?
Yes, when we had the gallery of November 9ers up.
You know, I really thought he had no teeth because of that.
So it's a raise to 13,000. Queen Jack the hand for Jose Carlos Garcia.
You really want to play this hand, but it's tough with so many players to act behind.
Well, he's re-raised. A 3-bet to 32,000.
Hoping he can buy himself some position.
Schemion has jacks in the big blind. He calls.
This call is going to look stronger than She-Hulk. What it's not all about men, you guys.
Action back on the original razor.
You know, he still hasn't smiled yet. Could be true.
Felix folds. So battle of the big stacks as we go heads up to the flop. Garcia takes the lead with top pair.
Hits his one over, nice.
Check.
How much to c-bet? 34K.
All is definitely not folding for just one. One bet, 34,000 chips.
He calls. The turn card is a 4.
Check.
Schemion checking for a second time.
It's a pretty safe card for Garcia to keep barreling.
155,000 in the middle. His turn bet is 58,000.
Now, I said Ola can't fold for one bet, but for two, he could very well. He's just way too good to station this all the way to a losing showdown.
Schemion folds.
Way too good. So annoying.
A significant pot for Garcia.
Welcome to the table. I like it.
Look at this kid. Who does he think he is? Thinks he's the tree meister, king of the trees?
And with that hand, the gap widens between Schemion and the tournament chip leader. Fancy taking on the likes of Schemion? Well, you could be at the next EPT Grand Final. Qualify now at PokerStars.com.
Oh, God, I hope this thing's got the toilet. I think I'm gonna throw up.
Still in the harbor, dude.
I know, but I had off-brand mineral water at lunch.
Polish pro Jose Carlos Garcia has extended his chip lead at the PokerStars and Monte Carlo Casino EPT Grand Final after coaxing Schemion into parting with a chunk of his stack.
Welcome to the table.
And now another Polish player on a hot streak is coming to the main stage. We've got a new lineup at the feature table, headlined by a herd of high rollers and the most recent EPT champ. So how awesome is this? We've got Dmitry Urbanovich, who's set to win EPT11 Player of the Year. Mustafa Kanit, who took down the 50k event here in Monaco. Jean Monturi, who won Malta a few weeks back. Plus high roller regs Ike Haxton and Connor Drynan.
Well, this looks fun.
Blinds 4,000, 8,000 with a 1,000 ante.
Now's when the real poker starts.
44 players remaining in the EPT Grand Final main event. So action has been folded around to Hady El Asmar. Ace, deuce of spades, and he raises.
From the button, you know it, my brother.
Drynan has jack-9 of clubs in the big blind.
Easy defend from the big blind, especially against the qualifier.
He calls. Heads up to the flop. Second pair for Drynan. Nut flush draw for El Asmar. Action goes check, check. 7 of hearts doesn't change anything.
I don't think Drynan lets us check through another time.
He bets 16,000 into 44,000. El Asmar calls with his draw.
Makes sense.
9 of spades on the river, trips for Drynan, flush for El Asmar. And Drynan's going to value bet.
It's a pretty bad river card for him.
40k. Nut flush on a paired board.
Yeah, looks like El Asmar is tempted to raise. Probably fine, but I don't see what worse hands can call. Maybe, just maybe the hand Connor's got.
It's a raise to 90,000.
Now you're bluffing me?
No.
He wasn't bluffing me. I have nothing.
This talking makes him seem pretty comfortable.
You show me what you have. I'll let you see one card.
That would be a mistake.
Drynan gets away from it. He folds trips.
That is a really good fold, my main man.
I will show you both because you are a good player.
That is exactly why you shouldn't show him.
Nice day.
Nice fold.
Nice.
Second time. I beat you. Nobody?
El Asmar's building a stack. Joe, pass me the matches. We are reigniting the flame of hope. We're making this guy our new online qualifier.
Let's light this Asmar.
I'm Hady El Asmar. I'm Lebanese and I'm 47 years old. I'm not professional. I am engineer, civil engineer, and I play for fun. I'm playing online, and one night I played the satellite and I won the seat. Lebanese people like life, like spend money, like gambling. You know, we have more than 50 Lebanese players here, more than 50.
We have a Lebanese champion here in Monte Carlo.
Schwiti, when he won 4 years ago, all the young guys follow him. So I think it will push more people to come and play. We have worked 30 years ago, so every time when you go out, we like to show the real face of Lebanon. This game, anybody can win. 6 months ago, I told my wife that I will make something in Monaco. I have this feeling. I can do it. I need luck. Everybody needs luck. I'm Lebanese, so Lebanese like to survive and fight. And this was a challenge. If I win this tournament, I'll be proud. Self-satisfaction.
You know what I always say? When life gives you Lebanons, make Lebanon's aid.
Let's head over to the secondary feature table, where Johnny Lodden has been joined by Ola Schemion. Johnny's flopped top pair, Schemion has nada. But that's not going to stop him betting.
Johnny Lodden is not a guy I would try to get to fold top pair. Then again, Ola can't know Johnny has top pair, so I don't even really know what I'm talking about.
17,000 apiece. 7 on the turn has Schemion drawing dead. Action goes check, check. Board pairs on the river.
I think this is going to go bet fold most of the time. It's a little late for a flush draw.
There's the bet from Johnny, 28,000. And there is the fold from Schemion. Johnny Lodden up to 551,000. Ola Schemion still a top 5 stack with 688k. Meanwhile, on the main stage, Jon Monturi is all in with ace-jack against the pocket jacks of Muhaddin Ferez.
Jacks, 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 jacks. Okay.
And jacks are holding on the flop. Monturi picks up additional outs.
Comment?
4 plus.
He needs an ace or a 4. It's a 6.
No.
Okay.
Good luck. 10% no good. Thank you, good luck.
I guess it's Ferez Bueller's day on.
No back-to-back titles for Jon Monturi. A 43rd place finish.
Bump, bump.
To the outer tables now, where Emin Agaev is all in. And there's potential action on the side between Scott Clemens and Christopher Frank. Frank bets the flop, 45,000.
Scotty too hotty.
Calls.
So a decent side pot brewing also.
Turn card, 7 of spades.
The draws are starting to come in.
Clemens checks.
$107.
Frank bets again.
Feels like a pair to me. 8s, 10s.
Clemens calls again.
Okay, a real side pot brewing now.
Yeah, a side pot that's bigger than the main pot. River card to 10.
Check.
Check to showdown.
Okay, he doesn't have 8s or 10s.
Scott Clemens has 4 6s.
And Agayev's out.
We're going to see the other 2 hands. Frank had ace-king. Agaev with absolutely nothing. He's out in 41st. Hashtag death by quads. And Scott Clemens will move up to 2nd place on the leaderboard after eating Christopher Frank's lunch.
Yum.
Clemens now playing 760k. He sits ahead of Jose Carlos Garcia and Johnny Lodden. Connor Drynan currently leads with a 100 big blind stack with 40 players remaining. Blind still 4,000, 8,000. While our qualifier, Hady El Asmar, is currently 7th on the leaderboard, and in this hand, we're only going to see his whole cards. We're going to sweat with Hady.
He's out of position. I hope he's got a good hand.
It's been folded around to Matthias Rutzi.
He's excited, and so am I.
Now on Ike. And looks like a button raise from Mr. Haxton. 16,000.
And Ike's probably going to be raising 100% of his buttons, so I would suggest if we want to play this hand that we 3-bet this, but whatever.
El Asmar just calls with 9-10 offsuit.
Maybe better to play a smaller pot against one of the best poker players of all time.
The flop is Jack-6 tray. Action goes check, check.
I'm actually a little worried when Ike checks back the flop.
9 on the turn. Second pair now for Hady. He checks again. And here comes a delayed C-bet from Ike. 24,000.
Now we got a call, but I don't love it. I really think if Ike had nothing, he would have bet the flop.
Oh, qualifier calls. The river card. It's the 5 of diamonds. There's now a potential straight and a potential flush out there. Hady checks.
Unfortunately, I don't think this river is bad enough that we can fold to a reasonable bet from Ike.
Well, there's 95,000 in the middle.
None of the flop draws came in.
And Ike is betting full pot.
Well, that's not reasonable. I think I gotta go with fold here.
Qualifier's thinking about calling. He does call. And it's a good call.
He had nothing. Nothing. And I would have folded to him on 1st through 7th Street. Ike, you are the worst.
Nice call.
Thank you.
Well played, Hady El Asmar. Our online qualifier is now 2nd on the leaderboard, while Ike Haxton is now a below-average stack.
Hey, Ike, how you enjoying that glass of Lebanon Zaid? Good, right?
James, if you're going to say I'm on a boat, don't. Just don't. The whole thing's been done. It's totally passé.
Wasn't gonna say that.
Oh, what were you going to say then?
I'm on a low-carb diet, so let's get some quinoa. I'm on a boat.
The bass get deep that the ocean do. Bass get deep that the ocean do.
Straight back to the action here at the PokerStars and Monte Carlo Casino EPT Grand Final. Our online qualifier, Hady El Asmar, has propelled up the leaderboard. Blinds are still 4 and 8. This is the last level of the day.
No respect.
Ah, he's like Italian Rodney Dangerfield.
Action now, Matos Ruzzi. He passes. As does Ike Haxton. Hady El Asmar, our online qualifier, has ace-queen in the cutoff.
Let's see what our boy from Lebanon can do with an actual hand.
Raises to 17,000. Round to Dmitry Urbanovich, who has ace-3 in the big blind.
17? 17.
He calls.
Yeah, he's not going to be able to fold an ace in the big blind. No.
The flop gives El Asmar top pair, but it's 2 pair for Urbanovich.
Oh boy.
Hady's going to continue. 62,000.
And if Dmitry expects Hady to have an ace here a lot, he is going to raise.
It's a virtual all-in.
Good.
An actual call.
Urbanovich has left himself 12k behind.
I check.
You check?
I check.
Yeah.
Wants to give himself a chance to fold.
Chances are the rest go in now.
All in.
Here we go. And Urbanovich is set for a double up. Just has to fade. A 7, 10 or queen on the river.
He seems pretty pleased with himself.
The river card is a queen!
Oh, no. Hey, careful, buddy. There's delicate equipment in that table.
Dmitry Urbanovich, KO'd by our qualifier.
I've never been lucky like this.
So cute!
Urbanovich cashes for 23k. Hady El Asmar, meanwhile, is closing in on the million mark. At the secondary feature table, Andre Akari and Josh Prager have the same hand. Andre 4-bets.
Maybe I'm all in. Same hand, maybe?
Yep, chop it up.
He's like poker's Larry David. Anybody want to make the 2 flush draws joke? No? Anyone?
Oh, well, talking of flush draws, there are 2 diamonds on the flop.
Eh? Huh?
Andre Akari is officially free-rolling. Well, this will be a split unless there is a diamond on the river. And it's a diamond. Oh, that's nasty.
You schmohawk.
Sorry, buddy.
Josh Prager crippled by a grotesque bad beat.
Look at him.
He's the nicest guy in poker. Sorry about that.
Let's see if that story checks out.
That's a bad beat, man.
Besides, everyone knows the nicest guy in poker is Russ Hamilton.
He's super.
I guess him I could fold, man, but I guess I'm just.
Honestly, I'm not even convinced Andre's met Josh before.
Josh left with just 11 bigs. And 2 more eliminations to tell you about. Reece Jones is out.
All right, good luck, kids.
As is Andrei Volkov. We are down to 37 players.
Did you say Andre Walkoff?
Just a few more hands to play tonight. And back at the feature table. Action's on Connor Drynan. He's got aces.
Do you think Connor Drynan thinks about that aces versus aces loss in the $1 million tournament every time he's got aces? Because I do.
Mustafa Kanit with ace-jack suited. Calls. Queens for Rutsi.
Maybe Rutsi will give Drynan's aces some protection.
All in.
He shoves. Ike folds. As does you.
You count, please.
Why does El Asmar need a count? He's got Queen 4.
All in.
Uh-oh.
No, chill, bro.
Man, he really does not want to go broke with aces again, does he?
Connor has acted out of turn.
If I don't say nothing, he's obliged to say all in? Or what's the move?
Just so we are aware, because you have asked. Unless you change the action.
I know. This is the
okay.
okay. I know the
No, I've
rules.
said it,
Nothing
that we're
special.
the
Okay.
rules.
I fold.
Duh.
On.
Don't act like saying it the second time is what counts. We know you're all in.
Can it folds?
Oh,
Yeah, that was not an angle.
Everybody does it occasionally.
And we have another cooler on our hands.
One of the coldest.
that could be the biggest mistake of my life.
It's gonna be fine. Probably, maybe.
I don't think I've ever done anything like that.
Not much hope for Rutsi. 1 out in the deck. And only 1 more chance to hit it.
Oh, well.
He's out.
Oh, God.
Pete's losing with him.
Good luck.
What the deuce? His tournament's been ruined. Ruined.
Out in 37th. And it looks like Josh Prager's following him out the door.
All right, Ole. Next time.
Next time.
Nicest handshake in poker.
Josh busted by Ludovic Geilich.
Now, I know you're nice and everything, Josh Prager, but don't forget to get paid, buddy.
He cashes for 26,500 euros. as we go back to the main stage, where action's on Ike Haxton. He's got 7s in the hijack. He raises to 18,000. Queen 8 for Quan Zhu. He passes. Round to Muhaddin Ferez in the small blind. He's got kings.
Man, oh man, these big pocket pairs are going around like that virus from the movie Virus.
This is a re-raise, a 3-bet to 49,000. Action's back on Ike.
Ike's probably going to peel since they're both deep enough to make set mining worth his while.
He calls in position. The flop is ace high. Farez does not continue, he checks.
That's gonna look a little odd.
So Ike takes over the betting, 35,000.
Ferez needs to tread lightly. Ike could very well put him on his exact hand.
Farez calls. The turn card is a 10, another overcard to Haxton's 7s. And once again, Ferez checks.
When Ike bets again here, I think he's specifically trying to get Ferez to fold a big pair that isn't an ace.
75,000.
Ike's making it pretty tough on this guy.
I'm all in.
Ferez says, in your face, Ike Haxton.
In your face, in your ear, in other places.
Ike is forced to fold.
Ferez's play doesn't make a ton of sense, though, since Ike would probably only fold worse hands and call with better ones. But you showed him, Muhyiddin.
Not a great finish to the day for Ike, down to 147,000. So time for the final hand of the day. And at this table, Jose Carlos Garcia and Zhao Simao are going to the flop. 7-5-4 with 2 clubs.
Simao's supposed to have connected with this board way more than Garcia.
Simao, that's 21K. Garcia calls. Turn card's another 4, pairing the board. Simao checks.
Garcia's shown himself to be no slouch. I mean, he's literally slouching a little, but it's not what I meant.
He bet 68,000. Simao calls. Queen of clubs on the river. Well, that completes the flop flush draw.
Simao was looking like he didn't want to face another bet. But face a bet he is.
Another 98,000 from Garcia.
Face a bet he does. I don't know what I was supposed to say there. But he's calling!
Garcia tables King 4 for trips.
That's probably going to be good.
And Simao mucks.
King 4, huh? You raised it up pre with King 4. I'm just going to go over here and freak out now.
And Garcia is now mega chip leader. With day 3 in the books. Lots of big names on the leaderboard, including Akari, Lodden, and Schemion, plus our qualifier, Hady El Asmar. But the man in the number 1 spot with 1.7 million is Jose Carlos Garcia.
Pretty amazing so far. We'll see tomorrow. It's a couple of good players still in, looking for a challenge. Never had that experience before. Yeah, we'll see tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it.
Next time, fortunes are won and lost.
2 all-ins and a call.
Wow.
Wow.
So, who will Lady Luck favor?
Nice river. Super lucky. Just when he's full of this move with nothing. And
As we play down to the final 3 tables.